This arc is almost over. Don't know when it's over, but last chapter, a bunch of powers, and I mean other powers, are listening in on Vegapunk's broadcast. Everybody and their mother around the One Piece world is listening on Vegapunk's message broadcast. Shocking thing is, he brought up Gol D Roger. And why did he bring up Gol D Roger? Well, it involves with the One Piece probably. So don't know if that's relevant, but it does involve Shanks, Buggy, mind you, Mihawk, and Crocodile and other people, Emu too, that's all listening to this broadcast. So here we are, One Piece chapter 1121, titled The Ebb and the Flow of the Ages. So here's where we start off at. Watch out for those claws. We can't let them get away. Fire. They're poisonous. Don't let them touch. Now, as last chapter, not Vegapunk, but a giant robot, as I said, the Iron Giant, is now fighting against Peter, which is Sandworm, as we all know, against one of Gorosei. While they're fighting, you got Saturn jumping toward Luffy and Bonnie and trying to kill mostly Bonnie and Kuma. Remember that. So he needs to kill those two off before he gets to Luffy. In that case, that's where we left off last chapter. Now, here we are. Whoa, yeah, nothing good can come from touching that. What an intense attack. And let me just say, Saturn is going for the kid. He wants to go for Bonnie. Now, at this time, as the giant warrior pirates are holding back Saturn and Luffy gearing up to, fight Saturn personally, Bonnie goes into her Gear 5th form also. Mind you, a few chapters back, Bonnie a little bit gain access to Gear 5th. When I mean gain access to Gear 5th form, she was only able to maintain Gear 5th form and not as long as Luffy can. So it puts stress on her body. It's put stress on her body in order to use that form. A lot of stress. Now that she has time to recover, I don't know if she eating anything like Luffy can, so she can get her energy back. Now she's back in her Gear 5th and is ready to go. Now Luffy looks at this, is like, all right. And then Luffy begins to punch Saturn, which kind of has effectability to work with. But now you see Bonnie jumps off the ship into the air, and Saturn looks pissed, and he sees this and says, Bonnie. And we can tell that Bonnie is struggling to maintain this Gear 5th form, which right now she, like I said before, she can't harness the Gear 5th ability like some other, like Luffy can. She doesn't have control over it yet. She can't maintain its form like Luffy can. She can only maintain Gear 5th form for like 5 minutes or probably even less, like a minute. And unlike Luffy, he can jump in and back out by will. Anyways, Bonnie is struggling to breathe and trying to maintain the form, and Luffy says, that's it, Bonnie, you've got this. Now, cutting back to the other side, away from this battle and onto this other side of the world, Vegapunk continues to talk about, the forbidden stuff he's not supposed to talk about. And he says, a day of awakening is coming where all the pressing secrets of the voice century will be uncovered. And he continues, we know the weapons technology that sank the world's content. He's talking about the 3 ancient weapons. Now that we discover all 3 of them, what's going to happen? And because broadcast is from where Vivi, Alabasta Kingdom, and now it shows Poseidon, which is Shirahoshi. She realizes it's well shit, and I'm pretty sure Vivi knows too that an ancient weapon is now in Alabasta. So if by chance, a big if, Emu decides to tell the 5 elders, go seize the ancient weapons, go to split our forces, do an all-out attack. So go one force goes to Alabasta, and the other force will go to Fishman Island and capture the 2 ancient weapons. That's pretty much what he's gonna do. Yeah, he continues, it's still in use. That power is out, so we don't know. Now it cuts back to Sky Island too. So we got the Alabasta Kingdom, Fishman Island, where Vivi is, Sky Island, which we haven't seen it. And this is where the Straw Hats met, I forgot her name. But visit this person. I'll put on the screen too, so you can remember that. It's been a while. She put, went back to that. Oh, and Isa too. If you don't remember her, she was a Shidorian. Hope I said that right. You continue, Vegapunk continues, those with rare and unique racial ancestry are relentless, prosecuted, and slaughtered today.
Jesus Christ.
So you mean to tell me you got Kuma, remember, he was, you got Kuma and the three-eyed race, Puddin, and King, which is, a Lunarian. That's not good. And all three of them were, let's just say, enemy, and it's not looking good. Due to some mysterious quirk of history, and it comes back to Vegapunk still having that big ass head, a brain, and Kuma, remember that conversation, are you a buccaneer? What makes my blood so special anyway? And then it comes back to Whitebeard's hometown. We're having a lot of, I guess this is relevant, and it cuts back to Whitebeard's hometown, talking about the distant past. And Marco remembers the conversation with Whitebeard too, as he's listening to this broadcast. And he remembers what Whitebeard said. I'm talking about the distant past. Back then, there was a kingdom of gods up there. And then it cuts back to, like I said, King, and then Pudding. First King in his jail cell. I'm thinking he's recovered. Don't know by where Kaido is. You're a Lunarian. The world government is offering 100 million berries for any information on them. So a buccaneer, a Lunarian, and a three-eye race. We got roster. Well, what does this all mean? We don't know. Look, she's got 3 eyes, and Puddin remembers that, and both of them were silent and realized that, well, shit, this is not good. It cuts away from Vegapunk's broadcast back to the battle, and Saturn is gunning for not gunning for Luffy, but Bonnie, since she's the one that messed everything up apparently. And he says, you're mine. You're but a parrot mimicking what you do not comprehend. And Luffy says, enough is enough. And I gotta say, Luffy had the right idea. Shut up, Saturn. And like I said before, Bonnie is getting ready to unleash attack, but she needs concentration first. She remembers Kuma's little memory bubble, him as a kid, as him growing up. You can either live as a slave or die. Nothing else can be tolerated for someone of your ilk. That is what the tides of time have decided. And she says, how dare you? Of all things you did to my dad, what you did to mom. And it cuts back to Kizaru sitting still on the ground, knocked out. Don't know if he's awake or fully aware. And it cuts back to Sentamaru. Your mother ended up being part of my drug experiments. And she says, how dare you call yourself a god? Bonnie, say hi to mommy. Real gods do exist. And then it cuts back to Kuma. I wanted to be a hero, someone who could have or save people, real heroes too. All I ever wanted was for the 3 of us to live in peace. Being alone for so long made me want to die, but I kept going. I owe everything to those 2. Thank you, Bonnie. And this is what Kuma, backstory Kuma saying, and Bonnie. Thank you, Bonnie. We are so glad you were born. They blessed me in so many ways. As Saturn's final rites, well, he ain't dead yet. He says, you insects. And Bonnie and Luffy gets ready to say, liberating Nika punch, and boom, slams into Saturn. All at once. It cuts briefly back to the other side of the world, Water 7. There will be a reckoning on the day those answers come. You must be on guard to protect yourself, no matter what happens. Comes back to where Caesar and Judge are, and then it comes back to what area where Nami stayed at for 2 years. I have faith in humanity's capacity for wisdom. I have faith in science. There you go. There we go. Yer died 25 years ago, and it's been 2 years since Whitebeard's death. A new age is heralded by the passing of old Legends today, and it cuts back to Saturn's damaged body, which this man is heavily damaged. I mean, his eyes are glossed over, and I mean, it looks like he's damaged, but it's nothing that regeneration can't help with. So I don't know if he can die or be damaged at this point or feel any pain, but right now he's in pieces, tentacles in pieces. A bunch of holes are punched. I mean, it was a decent amount of punches. Luffy did a decent amount of damage to Saturn. Don't know if it's really battle damage, but we don't know. Anyway, today there are certain individuals who can't be oppressed. And everybody's cheering that they took down Saturn, which don't celebrate just yet. You know what happens when people celebrate? It goes downhill. Anyways, everybody looks up and sees the Sunny come out the sky. And let me just say, they don't know what to do. If they crash onto the ocean, the ship might break apart. We will stop screaming, we're gonna die, we're falling, and we're gonna die, basically. Such individuals are probably the closest to the truth. A coincidence? Or did Roger set this all in motion? What are you trying to say, Vegapunk? My treasure is yours to find. Everything is right where I left it. Now, I get to that at the end of the chapter. At the end of this video. My final thoughts, though. But let's keep going. I got a theory. And then it cuts back to Shaki's bar. Shaki's putting a blanket over Rayleigh because he was drunk and passed out. Rayleigh, you'll catch a cold. And then cuts back to the other parts of the world. All right, Vegapunk, I like where this is going. Ooh, Vegapunk is going to spark everybody now. Here it is. Pay attention. This is where everything's about to bomb drop. Oda has something that he did, and it's ball dropping. Here we go. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee that it will be found by someone Joy Boy would want. And it cuts back to Hachinosu, Emperor Blackbeard's lair, Pirate Island Hachinosu. Isn't the Commodore back yet? I can't wait much longer. Then it cuts back to Emperor Red-Haired Shanks' ship, the Red Force. Boss, you're drinking too much. Shut up. I ain't drinking. And of course, Shanks is drunk when he says that. Cuts back to Emperor Buggy's base, empty Bluffs Island. I thought they were on the cross guild. Anyway, Chairman Buggy, there's no doubting your greatness now. You'll always exceed our expectations. There's so much more to your dream than I thought. And you just see to the side, as always. And they can't believe that their ears either. And it looks like Crocodile is nervous, or a sweat is dropping, and Mihawk probably praying by ear. And they're both quiet and silent, by the way, as they realize what Vegapunk just said. Cuts back to Marine Navy 8 headquarters. There's no way we'll just stand by. Let's go find it first. Who will protect the common folk then, you dolts? Now, Vegapunk speaks up. There's no stopping this now. Oh yeah. The fate of this world will be decided by whoever finds it. It all depends on who finds the One Piece. And you just see one character that's in silhouette, with everybody's pointing to, is it Shanks' brother? Hell no. Chapter end. Alright, final thoughts, by the way. So, what Vegapunk just did is what Roger did before he was about to be executed. And what Whitebeard did was also about to be executed. So, well, right before he died, said the same thing Roger did. Now Vegapunk, since he's dead, he's gonna elaborate. There's always a loud person that says, the One Piece is real! Nice! Alright, so we want to see a spark in the ocean in the coming chapters. I mean, a spark. So everybody, now that Vegapunk knows this, says this too, now everybody's like, And when he says major powers, he means Blackbeard, Shanks, but the Cross Guild, which that's where Mihawk and Crocodile is. Oh, who else? This showed a lot of people. The Marines, especially. The Revolutionary Army. I gotta say, when Vegapunk put emphasis on whoever gets or whoever finds this treasure, the One Piece will hold the power in her hand or will turn the tides of war. So you got 3 factions, by the way. You got pirates, revolutionary, and marines. So whoever gets to the One Piece first, I'm sorry to tell you this, but good luck, cause you're gonna need it. Good luck, buckos. And you just see Akiji on there too. Frigolin is also one of the gods knights with Celestial Dragon. I don't know if Celestial Dragon is also the 4th faction too. So they're probably going to remember hearing this was like the One Piece. So if we find that, we may be able to turn the tides of war. Frigolin, summon the God's Knights and have them find this One Piece. Okay, but just to tell you this, but you gonna leave Marisval and kind of heck the state, no battle guard. Now, it says, before I go off to another tangent, it also says a battle for supremacy. So whoever finds the One Piece controls everything, basically. The One Piece, the manga, basically is about. Gold Roger collected, we all know how Gold Roger and I said this last chapter. Whoever holds the One Piece controls everything. Gol D Roger discovered the king of the pirates. We all know the intro of how Gol D Roger. 4 kids, anime, first episode. We all know what this is. We all know what's at stake here. Luffy now, and I don't know, man. It's now that Vegapunk opened the can of worms. Next chapter. And it's a break next week. But I gotta say this. I'm gonna say something controversial. One Piece, it's gonna either come down to Blackbeard, Shanks, Buggy, and Luffy. It's gonna come down to those 4. Now, what's Emu? Is Emu strong too onto those 4? And I include Buggy on that too, cause he's lucky as hell. Come on now, if Buggy goes for the One Piece and holds the One Piece in his hand, wouldn't that mean that Gol D Roger kinda handed the One Piece to Buggy, essentially? Because he's kind of damn near lucky all the time. I mean, look how he got out of the situation with Crocodile and Mihawk. I mean, they basically had that man on death row. I mean, Jesus Christ. Now, we'll just see what happens next, how everybody moves. It's like playing chess. Well, okay, not particularly chess. It's like, what's a good comparison? Well, it is like chess. It's like chess. Whoever beats the other person to wherever destination wins. There you go. Oh, hopefully I get that right. But if you like this video, hit that notification and subscribe. And comment down below if you think Buggy will get the One Piece because he's so damn lucky. And see you again, and see you next adventure. Later.